Got them?
Yeah.
All right, Podium Archer strings right here. This is the guy, this is where they build them. This is how it goes down. The cool thing about this is these come off here and they go right on your bow, what you said at the camp. They're not in a plastic bag, shipped to some dealer and then put on and they're gonna stretch. Like,
correct.
They're going right to my bow right now.
Yeah, everything sits with 350 pounds of pressure on it, and as soon as it comes out of the stretcher, like we were just saying, it comes out of here from being stretched, it goes on to here from being served, and then it comes off of the server onto here. And because we have 6 bays of that, it takes roughly 20 minutes a piece to work your way through it. So by the time you're down here on the 6th set, this one's been sitting for 2 hours. So everything's completely stretched out before you could ever get back to the first one. So it just really ensures that it's not going to give.
Put on the bow.
Yeah, never has that time to recompress.
Assembly line. All right, well, let's go put these on. Well, actually, let's go watch me put them on.
Yeah, all right.
Here goes nothing.
Sounds good. You want to make sure the arms are on your limbs and not on your top hats.
Yeah.
You get out here and accidentally press it, you won't be able to get it off.
Okay.
It'll cover over it. So that's that side. Then it's this side. Make sure you are not pushing on anything in the cam, because then you won't be able to rotate the cam.
Gotcha.
So you see how you got enough room there roughly.
Okay.
Right? Just make sure you're not touching. And make sure these haven't exceeded that. That's got to come in a little. If you get too far out there, it can slide off.
That wouldn't be good.
We actually had that happen 2 weeks ago and it snapped the lamb.
Oh.
Yeah. So, all right. So your width's roughly right. I'm going to go ahead and back this out to too long for the bow.
Because the bow's like 34.
Yeah, it's like 33, 34.
If someone were making a new press, would they have this feature on here or a better one?
I don't know for sure. What I would have, I'd have a no-go, like don't extend it past here,
right,
and stop on your inbound coming here. And it wouldn't be a bad idea to have that just from an axle to axle standpoint, so you kind of have an idea where to start, which is why that's on there.
Okay.
So it would probably still have that, I would think. That's probably part of the intent.
Okay.
On it, yeah.
Okay, so this is a Hoyt Carbon Ultra.
Yeah, and what you're going to want to do when you're putting it in the press is you always turn it the other way. Just have the handle out, the parts out, etc. Everything.
So you can work on it.
So you can work on it.
And do you guys
now, if you have to move your modules or that sort of thing, you'd actually turn it the opposite direction. So when you're using a press that moves, push it against that side.
Oh, this side?
And hold weight, like grab it like right here.
Okay.
Got it?
Yep.
Actually, I take that back. Grab your left hand right there.
Right, because I'm going to be firing.
You have it?
Yep.
All right. So try to hold it, like you'll keep that in there. I'll keep my fingers on it
okay,
just so it's easier for you. Bring this down to roughly where it's going to line up and start pulling the trigger on the...
Did you already rotate the drive?
I believe so.
Okay.
Nope, I didn't.
Okay.
Get it to where it's touching, but not press it. Keep going. A little more. There you go. Okay, so it's touching, so let go of it and look at how everything's sitting. Is everything on the limbs where it should be? Are your top hats clear? Are you clear from your cam down here? And make sure that you're not, go that way a little bit. Make sure that when it goes loose, you can actually rotate it.
Yeah.
If that's in too far, it'll hit something.
Okay.
All right, so you're okay there. Go ahead and press it.
And then how much are we going?
Take that off. Just till the string goes a little limp, so like to where you could pull it up to about here. Keep going. Go. All right.
Yep.
Now you're loose enough. Okay, so now everything should have, let go, the ability to move the wheels back and forth. Yep, you're good. So now, as a noob, do not take more than one piece off at a time.
That makes sense.
Okay, if you go up here and go, okay, I'm gonna take all this off. If you haven't taken a picture with your cell phone, which this would be the moment in which if you didn't have me standing here, you would take pictures of so you can look at how the cables are supposed to run through the grooves, what cable attaches where, which one goes on top of the other one, that kind of thing.
Yep.
If you don't already know, so that way you have a resource.
Do you go string first usually?
It really doesn't matter. It's kind of up to you. I'd pull these out so they don't fall out on you if you want to put them back in.
Yep.
And yeah, I would probably just go ahead and pull the string off. Let's grab your pieces here. Now, if you're going to save these strings for backups or whatnot, what you would want to do is paper clip them all together.
Yeah.
So, because each string has a certain amount of twist in it, and if you let go of it, they can untwist.
Okay.
So if you're keeping these as backups, you're going to want to put a pin through there, so they don't unravel. If you're doing that.
I'll have a backup bow.
Yeah, so you don't need it. But if you did, that's what you would want to do. So now, which end's the top, which end's the bottom?
That's where your peep's going.
So that would be towards the top, right? So that's the bottom. So install the bottom. Now you'll notice the servings are pretty stiff.
Do you usually go under and over, or do you?
Through.
Yep.
Hook it on and then fold it back around. Look at where you're going. Got to go in between those.
Between your, is that considered a Y yoke?
I don't even know what they call this now because it's kind of its own little thing. Up here would be a split Y yoke. That's like a free floating U, I guess. It's probably what they would call that since it's its own kind of thing now. Okay, so now got that. Give it a tug. Okay, bend the serving around the cam. Got that in. Same thing over there.
Now when you're putting strings on, and you know you're
don't try to get in this groove, bring it around and hook it and then try to put it in the groove. If you try to keep that on there, you won't have the extra room that you're going to need to fold it and get it over.
That's a pro tip.
Just save you time. You'd figure it out if you did it 2 or 3 times and go, oh, I can't put that on yet, because you'll see it's very snug.
Yep.
Right? Okay.
Now how come it's snugger than...
It hasn't settled yet. It'll take a minute.
Okay.
It will. And as these things sit in the presses like slowly back out, which is why you press it to a certain extent.
Oh.
Yeah.
Pro tip. So cables?
I would do the control cable next because it's simple. The bus cable, because it has this dual yoke system, is a little more complicated.
Okay.
So unhook the control at one end. And as you do it this way, you can compare the pieces that are going on from the ones that are coming off.
Right.
So you'd like pull out your control cable here, and you can see there's a crap load more serving on one side than the other. Right? A lot of serving, very little.
Yep.
So then, which side's got a lot of serving on it? Which side's got a little on it?
Noted.
Right? If you are having a hard time ever taking it off, just press the bow a little more.
Okay.
So that, I would, at this point, I would actually, let me show you a little something here. Okay. Unhook this side.
Okay.
And go back to where there's string material only. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Okay, now stop. You should be able to pull it out now, because there's not, it shouldn't be as thick.
Right.
So if you take both of those and go, it should come out without having to unpackage stuff.
So we have more serving up front, what you were saying?
Yep.
Got it.
All right. So this is the top, this is the bottom.
Yep.
So go ahead and hook on the top. I'll hang on to the bottom end so you don't lose any twist. Okay, you on it?
Yep.
All right, so I'm going to help you with this part just because it can be a little tricky to get this through here. We need it into the roller.
So you always do it with the string.
Yeah, and then pull it to where it's in the serving, and then you're good. Now you can put the other end on.
Copy.
And because we've done this one piece at a time, it's kind of hard to screw up where they go.
Yeah.
If you didn't, and actually, I'm going to press you a little bit. Here, you know, you go over. You have a little more. Bend it under.
Okay.
So you gotta, this is a little tricky, and it probably would be easier. In fact, here, hang on to that.
Got it.
I'm gonna help you out here. Unhook your string again. Now you got some slop.
Okay.
But everything's still connected, so we're not changing any twist in the string. Fold that guy under, get it over here, and then get it hooked on that little peg right there.
This guy right here.
Yeah,
that
the little
one?
shiny silver one, yeah. This would be the point that you'd be looking at your phone to figure out how this was on there, since you don't have a sample.
That's what I do when I work on my truck.
So hold your fingers, so you push it in there, and then if you pull and get it in there right, it'll pop in. That really is being difficult, so I'm going to there you go. So now you're in its groove.
So that was a control cable on the bottom cam.
We can roll this back over, put the string back on so everything stays with some tension on it.
So all you did was take it out of the groove. You can't.
Yeah, if you
slack.
take it out but leave it attached here, you can move.
Yep.
And get some room.
Okay.
So you're not disconnecting anything. If you disconnect stuff, then it can untwist, and you got to hold it. Okay, so here's the fun one.
The bus cable.
Well, it's fun because it's Hoyt's little system where you've got 2 pieces that hook into one.
Did that just start this year?
Here's where no, they had that
on
last
the
year.
RX one?
They had that on the RX one. So what you're going to run into when you try to do this is it's hard to hook everything back together.
Okay.
And keep it hooked correctly and get everything in its groove. So I would start by unhooking your bus cable and pulling it through your roller, and then just leave it loose down here.
Okay.
Okay. Just keep going until you get to string material and then pull it out of the groove. There you go. Now pull each piece out. Just push them that way and they should pop out.
Gotcha. Okay.
And as long as your edges are polished on that roller, you won't have any issues. So just go ahead and drop it down and just let go of it.
All right.
All right, so it's still connected there.
Yep.
It's not typically going to untwist. So hook that on the top now. And we have some string only here. Don't go all the way up to the top.
Oh, okay.
We have some string only down here. We can force our way through the roller. So get your top hats hooked on. Okay, so now come down here and work your way through the roller. I gotta pull my head over here so I can see. That's one.
Put your camera right in there.
That.
Shove that GoPro right in his face.
There you go. And now we're through the roller and we're into the serving. So we're okay there.
Gotcha.
Now we're back down to here. And that's what we're gonna replace next.
Okay.
So we're gonna reuse this piece.
Yes.
Okay. So in order to do that, you got that?
Yep.
You have to unhook one side. All right. And it pops out of the roller. Pull it through. We've now disconnected that. We're gonna take this guy. Oh man, it's tight. Put it in here. Actually, that was like this.
What's funny is how fast you do this.
Well, I'll do it a bunch. You'll get fast at it too. Okay, so we now need our other tail piece.
Yep.
Yeah, and we unhooked this side, so we're gonna hook this side back
You're gonna
on.
hook them on there first?
Right.
Okay.
We're gonna go ahead and go through here. I got it. Okay, so now we won't lose that.
Did you guys see that? He hooked it on that cam and then just went right.
And then we're gonna do the same thing we did before. We're gonna unhook the string up here off the rail so we have a little bit of room to play with. So things can rotate a little bit. And that wants to stay, does not want to stay in there when you do this. Like I said, this is the fun part. You got it?
Yep.
All right, so I got to get this under here. Yeah. Okay, got it?
Yep.
All right, now we can disconnect this guy. Since we unhooked down there, we have some room to move it. Put the new one on, put it back up. Okay, so go ahead and put that back in. We should have pressure on here. You should be able to let go down with your left.
Okay.
Okay. And you may, like I said, you may have to compress it a little bit. Sorry, to get it back in the groove. Yeah, press a little bit. Give it a jaunt, couple. Okay.
Almost.
Let go a sec. Get it in the bottom part of the groove first. There you go.
Okay.
All right, so take a look at what you've done. Make sure everything's in a groove. Something to watch when you're doing this on your own. Right here, these do not like to stay in here. These try to pop out. So when you look at those grooves right there, these will want to come out like that.
Oh, okay.
Do not draw your bow back like that. You'll blow it up. There you go. So, and then once you've looked over everything and you know everything's in its groove, it looks right, the test is try to draw the bow. Does it stop? If it stops, everything's in its groove. If something's not hooked in here, you'll draw it back and it'll go poink.
Yep.
And everything will pop off. So
last question before we let this thing out. Am I an F or an E for my draw length? There's usually a guide.
We can change that. So an F is like 29 and a half. So
yeah, no,
you're down here.
B.
Yeah, you're B. We haven't changed the draw length yet.
Okay.
It doesn't affect the timing at all.
Okay.
So setting up doesn't matter.
Talking about draw stops on these Hoyts. So they have little grooves and it's currently set to an F. It needs to be to a B for my short ass.
All right. So when you've got pressure on it, you know the bow's not coming apart, let it off. And you have actually effectively put your strings and cables on your bow.
Yay. You know what? That was harder than I thought it was.
Well, this is one of the more complicated ones. There's simple ones.
Okay.
It's kind of hard to screw up. Not, a lot of them don't have an additional free-floating yoke down here, but there's worse ones. Some of the Matthews stuff is you actually have to take the cams completely off the bow to be able to change the strings out.
Speaking of
them,
them,
go through that assembly.
how does that,
Repress that and pop those back in, or actually I'll work with my fingers there. Yeah. But outside of installing the strings on their bows, they're very simple. There you go.
There we go. Cool.
Like it's supposed to be.
So then you would probably install a rest.
I would get a knock height. I would put a loop on it and put it in the drawboard and check
That's
my
probably gonna be for
cable
another day.
orientation and laser align the upper cam. So you get this guy square first, and then you set the timing, because as you're manipulating this, you're actually changing the time.
Yeah.
So you get this set where you want it.
Yep.
Then set the timer on the bow.
Well, we'll be back for another installment. We will probably, you said, set your knock height.
Yeah, we'll put a loop on it, set the upper wheel orientation, and then put it on drawboard and make sure we're relatively timed, tweak it a little bit if we need to, and then we can put a rest on it and run it through paper.
Okay. That was literally harder than I thought it was going to
Well, like I said, that's why we want to make videos for each type of bow.
Yeah.
So you can give a step-by-step of how to actually replace the strings on this model or that
be. Yeah.
model.
I'm excited to shoot this one. Really excited, honestly. Been shooting the 30-inch. It's great, but I just feel like I might be able to shoot this a little bit better.
I think you will.
So, cool. All right, we'll catch you on the next one.